to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to This Week in Marketing, brought to you by the San Diego chapter of the American Marketing Association.
All right, welcome to a special episode of This Week in Marketing. I'm your host, Sam Wheeler, and we are here to talk about Cause Conference. So today we have basically a discussion, an overview of Cause Conference. We're going to go through the keynote speakers, the schedule. We're going to talk about Cause Marketing, and we're just going to have a general conversation about what does it mean to have Cause Marketing, right? There's a ton of different definitions. Well, I guess not a ton of definitions, but there are several ways that companies can do this. Groups, people, leadership teams, all that type of fun stuff. So what we're going to do here is we are going to basically, Kevin and I are going to just chat, and we are going to get the show on the road here. So before we do that, I guess it's probably important to make an announcement that Cause Conference is October 12th. Okay, it's a very fun event. It's at the Town and Country Convention Center in San Diego. There's going to be a ton of business leaders, a ton of great speakers, and a great networking event, especially for anybody in the cause world. Okay, tickets are still available. If you're a member of the AMA, it's $189. If you are not a member, it's $299. If you are purchasing a bundle of 5 for your office or people in your office, you get a discount there. It's $225. And if you're a nonprofit or involved in the nonprofit space, you get the member pricing of $189. So, there's still a ton of opportunities. If you're a student, there's a discount as well. If you want to give an exhibitor table or, become like a side sponsor or whatever, that's available as well. It's like $1,000 for that. You can make a donation to the Parker Pike Nonprofit Marketing Scholarship. There's a ton of ways to get involved and, a ton of just fun opportunities, I would say. I'm really excited for it. Kevin, have you been to a Cause Conference before?
I have never been to a Cause Conference. I'm excited to see what this thing's all about.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, a lot of people go to this. I mean, people that are in nonprofits that are in charities, right? They say, oh, we're working for a cause, right? But I don't necessarily think that's technically cause marketing, right? I guess maybe the marketing department for a nonprofit would be in the cause marketing space, but there's like a ton of, definitions of cause marketing. I mean, it's not like this is a new thing, right?
Oh, no, not at all. And I feel like there's a lot of different degrees of cause marketing. Like, for example, it could be as easy as a business giving money to a charity, or it could be, a business representing breast cancer for a month, or in a case like, for example, Patagonia, they've built their entire brand around a cause of environmental awareness and sustainability in their production practices.
Yeah, so, that's kind of a good segue into the different types of cause marketing. But, to get started, let's kind of just define it here. So cause marketing is essentially corporate social responsibility, right? Most big companies have a CSR department that is involved with, giving back and charities and all that stuff. But, what I think really where we see cause marketing is the intersect between leveraging those kind of opportunities to putting it into your messaging to your consumers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, there's varying degrees of this like sort of cause, I guess. We should probably, too bad we don't have an intern. We could see how many times we say the word cause in the show. But, basically it's a subset of marketing that involves the cooperative efforts of a for-profit business and a nonprofit organization for mutual benefit. All right, that's kind of like the Wikipedia definition, I guess you could say. But, there's, I would say, would you say philanthropy is in the same realm of cause marketing?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm definitely in the same ballpark. I don't know if I'd put them on the same level. I mean, again, I think it goes back to the degree. Like, for example, I'd say Patagonia, what they're doing is a lot closer to philanthropy than, just giving money to a charity here and there.
Yeah, so that's kind of like message. I would say like I'd put Patagonia into like the message-focused campaigns, right? So there's a ton of different types of cause marketing. We have like transactional campaigns, which is basically making a purchase, right? You say,
X% goes of the proceeds go to this cause.
yeah, right. So, there's a ton of brands in that world, right? I work for one called Fat Goods. They're one of our clients, and they do that. There's a ton, like every group. I know there's have you heard of the group called Red?
I've not.
They team up with like Armani and a bunch of other big brands, and you come up with like a product line, and they give money to like AIDS research and stuff like that. So there's a ton of these type of transactional campaigns. Now, let me ask you this. What percent is okay for it to be a cause marketing campaign? Is it 0.1%, or is there a threshold, or is there not a threshold? Could you give a one-time purchase, right?
That's a really good question. I'm not sure if there's like a threshold of the percentage of the proceeds that defines cause marketing or doesn't put them in the category. That's a really good question.
Well, so what do you think? I mean, I guess with this whole purpose of the show is just a conversation, right? So,
it's sorry to interrupt. Actually, I just came from a summit in Denver where I spoke to a business owner, and he came from India originally, lives in Canada now, and he's very involved in the city he came from, Ahmedabad, and he says that he donates 5% of all of his annual profits towards homelessness in India.
That's cool. I love it.
Yeah, I'd say 5% is a good number.
As like a baseline.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, but here's the thing though, like 1%, right? If you make $500 million, right? 1% of that's pretty sizable amount. So I guess I'm kind of thinking it really depends on how you leverage it in your messaging, right? If you say, we are like the best person or the best company and we donate all this money to charity, blah, blah, blah. We're so great. Look at us, buy us because we donate so much. And then you look in the fine print and it's like, 1%. That's kind of misleading, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think there's like it really just depends, right? So 5% I think is a pretty good baseline. 5% of, so there's also a difference between 5% of revenue and 5% of profits too, right? So, there's companies that could say, we donate 25% of our profits every year. And if they don't have a profit, then they don't give any money, right?
Yeah,
and then they can use that messaging. And so, that's something that I want to talk about a little bit in one of the upcoming segments here is like, misleading cause marketing and how tips for people and consumers to like spot companies that are just being lame, right? All right, so let's get back to the percentage here because we're just still talking about the first type, transactional campaigns, right? I'd say 5% is good. 25% is pretty huge, right? I mean, that's if you're talking margins there, that's pretty big amount. We see companies kind of in that realm. I mean, I don't really see anybody saying 50% of our revenue goes to charity, right? I mean, that's for a for-profit business, right? But you can have a nonprofit company that sells products as well, right? And then they basically take all their profits and they dump it into either like an endowment or a some sort of nonprofit that they work for, right? And then they become technically a nonprofit. I mean, colleges fall into that zone, which is really interesting because like is a college are they for causes, right? Could you consider the marketing that colleges do cause marketing?
That's a good question. Could you give me an example of one?
Okay, so I guess we're talking about the school that I went to, Northwestern, right? They are private school, but they're a nonprofit, right? So they make hundreds of $1 million a year. Or they get all this money from charity or whatever, from students or however they make their money, right? They've got investment funds and everything too. And at the end of the year, they dump all their money into their endowment. So their spreadsheets say zero. That's like pretty much how every college works. That doesn't operate in a loss every year. So let's say you make $5 million in profit, then you throw it into some sort of endowment or some sort of fund that your college or your whatever organization uses, and your spreadsheet says zero at the end of the year, you're technically a nonprofit because you didn't make a profit, right? So, can you say, I guess I'm leading into, is there a cause? Like, you have to focus on a specific cause to be a nonprofit, right? So, like schooling, would that be a cause? Like educating the public?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so too, right? There's I would almost put colleges in there, right? And I think there's actually some colleges or some people, we'll go over the bio in a sec, or the bios of all the people here, but I think there's some people that work for some universities here. And I mean, schools do a ton of amazing work, which is really fantastic. I mean, even if you look at SDSU or UCSD or USD, all these schools even in the local region here, it's pretty amazing to see what they're doing, right? And I mean, I would consider it cause marketing, but I don't know. I don't know if there's I wouldn't say I'm like the expert on cause marketing, but by any means, I don't know if there's like a group that says this has to be cause marketing, right? But okay, let's keep going here. Point of sale campaigns is the next kind of type. Basically what that means is you buy something and you say, yo, can you donate $1 to help a homeless dog? Or can you donate something for this cause or this cause, right? Now, you can use that. Usually it's the teller or some sort of, it pops up online sometimes, right?
I think they have them right on where you swipe your card nowadays at Petco.
Yeah, you just press a button, right? Which is, it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't say that I always do it, right? But it'd be interesting. I wish I had some like stats in front of me to see how successful that is or what the conversion rate is there. But, that's kind of a thing where it really, the percentage of your sale varies, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think we need to get into too much conversation about that. The next one that I want to talk about is message-focused campaigns. All right, that's when you use your business resources to share a cause-focused message, right? So, all right, we'll pick this up in segment 2. This is This Week in Marketing on WS Radio. And we'll be back. Thanks.
A podcast or radio show on WS Radio is a great way to create content marketing. Turn prospects into customers into raving fans. Contact Wade at WSRadio.com or call 866-WS-RADIO.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children.
After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
One person has the power to change the world, impact millions of lives, and leave a legacy for lifetimes to come. That person is you. In the New York Times bestseller, What is Your What? Steve Olsher, award-winning author and founder of the Reinvention Workshop, reveals his proven process that has helped thousands of men and women discover, share, and monetize the one thing they were born to do. Grab your free copy now at www.whatisyourwhat.com/free. That's www.whatisyourwhat.com/free.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
You take your smartphone almost everywhere you go. Now WSRadio.com can be there too. Search WS Radio in the Play Store for your Android devices or iTunes for Apple, and download the WS Radio application. WSRadio.com, on your phone and in your ear everywhere you go. Download the WS Radio application. Do it now. It's very easy. WSRadio.com.
Small businesses are the lifeblood of America's economy. Every Thursday, SBA Radio interviews industry professionals and is dedicated to provide small businesses with timely insights and innovations. Visit www.sbaradio.us for details.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to This Week in Marketing, brought to you by the San Diego chapter of the American Marketing Association.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Marketing. I'm your host, Sam Wheeler, and we've got in the studio today Kevin Speck of E2M Solutions, also of the local website Impulsive Wanderlust. What's up, Kevin?
Hi, Sam. Thanks for the shout out.
So we're talking cause marketing, and we were going through the different types still, which I can't believe we took that whole segment to just go over the first two types, which is kind of fun. So we're talking about message-focused campaigns, right? And obviously, for those listening out there, if you're trying to think about ways for your company to get involved, you don't have to just pick one, right? And just be like, this is the way that I'm doing cause marketing or whatever. So there are kind of industry standards over the years which have come up these different types, but companies do a ton of mixture or a mesh of them, right? There's really no one way to do it. But yeah, so we're talking about message-focused campaigns. Okay, this is when your business has a message or there's a group that's championing a specific cause. Like a great example of this is Don't Text and Drive, right? I think there's like the Ad Council of the United States. They put out these billboards, Don't Text and Drive. Good PSA there. If you're listening while you're driving to work right now, don't be texting. Just listen and enjoy This Week in Marketing podcast. But yeah, so there's other ways. So besides nonprofits that have these sort of messaging, there's companies can have these message focused campaigns. And Kevin, you brought up a good one. It's like Patagonia, right?
Right.
What would you say their message is?
I'd say their message is just environmental awareness. Just always be mindful of the environment, and they combine that with their whole, because they're an outdoor clothing company. It's go outside and respect the environment. If I could put it into one sentence.
Nice. Yeah, and that's good. I'm sure they love to hear that. But so, I'm sure they donate to charity, right? They've got groups that they work with, right? So that's their type of giving back, their philanthropy, right? Mm-hmm. But their sort of message here is treat the earth with respect, right?
Right.
Donate your clothes. They don't have to accept clothes at their store to be have a marketing campaign around donate your clothes, right? So that's kind of where we're getting at here with this cause focus. As long as there's like a underlying culture at your business of like a specific goal, I think that kind of puts you in this like message focused marketing, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think in the case of Patagonia, like their messages, that defines their brand right there. Like when you hear the word Patagonia, environmental awareness is one of the first things to come to your mind.
Yeah, definitely. And then another really good example, which actually kind of cuts into their bottom line, I think, is REI's Opt Outside campaign. Mm-hmm. So basically what happens there, for those of you that don't know, on Black Friday is a huge, it's in like November, right? It's like after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving or something like that. I don't know. I probably should know that. But Black Friday is big shopping day. There's deals. People like fight in line to like get these deals and stuff.
The day people fight after Thanksgiving, after giving thanks for everything they have, they go and fight for new things.
But yeah, so basically what REI did is they had this campaign called Opt Outside, where they actually closed their stores in 2015. To be honest, I don't know if they still do it, but this was like a huge thing in the industry where they're like, you know what, all of our stores across the country are going to close for Opt Outside. Instead of waiting in line to get 20% off of your TV, opt outside and go outside and enjoy nature, right? And that's kind of really interesting to me because like they basically said they made a business decision that said we're not going to get any sales from this day, right? We're going to tell people we're going to use our message to go outside. And to be honest, like I'm looking at their like opt outside landing page here, and I don't see any messaging about like environmentalism, which is really interesting because like obviously that's kind of part of it, right? Is like if you don't appreciate or you don't conserve outside, just the general outside, then it's not going to be there for you to enjoy, right? But it's because it's interesting that maybe the message there is just be healthy, right? I mean, that's a whole different thing than environmentalism. Is just go outside, be healthy, be active. But I find it really interesting, and I would love to. I'm sure they have the data somewhere of like the ROI from this campaign, which is probably super negative, but I don't know. I think it's really interesting.
Well, to be honest, I think that right there is that defines a huge component of cause marketing, because I feel like a lot of cause marketing is just showing the public that you're more than just a business tycoon only concerned with the bottom line. It gives brands a chance to really humanize who they are and what they stand for. And I think that's a great way to do it. Like, I don't think there's any better way you could like nail in that ideology than closing down all your stores on the biggest sale day of the entire year, just so people can go out and enjoy the world instead of, clawing and fighting other people for the best deals. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, I really like that. And that's kind of a good point that you made, is like with your message, that's kind of ingrained into your brand identity, right? So you can partake in quote, cause marketing if you just instill some sort of specific values into your company that even if your employees, just follow that, right? And that's what we talk about your meetings, whatever, it's part of your company values. That's a really good way to, especially if your margins are tight, to get involved and sort of support some sort of cause that your company's passionate about. So that's really cool. I'm definitely going to put that in the show notes, because that's a really great way for companies to kind of like get started, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just going back to the REI example, just doing it on Black Friday alone, like that's gonna get them so much free press, because I mean that's the one day of the year where every company is just staffing up, they're just prepared for battle, and then for one company just to totally opt out of it, that's just that's just gonna get so much free press, and
yeah,
that's really gonna get the word out.
Yeah, for sure. There's another one which is kind of in the transactional realm here. It's called portion of purchase, where you basically donate a portion of your purchase, right? So I guess there's a difference between overall revenues, like a percentage of that versus a percentage of each individual purchase, right? Because that could, if you say 5% of the purchase, I mean, I guess I don't really know math that well, but I'm guessing it could change a little bit. I don't know if it's, I guess overall, if you say 5% of every purchase, then that's just 5% of your total profits, right? So I guess we could probably move on. Or 5% of your total revenue there. So the next one is really interesting. It's called pinups. It's primarily used for brick and mortar stores, where you buy a little thing, put it on the wall. And I love this one, right? It's a great way. It's like a kind of an ego baiting type of thing where you can say, hey, write your name down or draw this picture, or like, it's for kids too, right? Draw this picture, parents donate $5. And it goes on the wall of my like pizza shop, right? It's a good local way to like get involved with something where you can then give that money. You actually donate that money. So I guess it goes back to the transactional campaign there. But I think a great example of this is there's this pizza shop in New York. And what this person did is you could pay it forward. So you could buy a pizza slice. I think the slice is like $1.25, or they started out as $1, and you could basically buy a slice for yourself, buy a slice for somebody else, and then you put it up on the wall. And if you can't afford to eat or whatever, you go in, you take a sticker off the wall, and then you buy your pizza or whatever. So really great idea. Really great way to, especially for local stores, to like have partake, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that also does more than just humanizes a brand. It also kind of humanizes the customers and gets people involved with each other.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we got 2.5 minutes here, so let's try to get through all the rest of these. Next one, super famous, buy one, give one, right? When you think of that, who do you think of?
Buy one, give one.
So you buy a product, and the company gives a product to somebody in need.
I'm drawing a blank right now. What's a big one?
Oh, really? Tom's, man. The shoe store.
Yeah.
You buy a pair of shoes, they give shoes to somebody in need, right?
Okay,
to be honest, I don't think they're the first company to ever do this, but they definitely made it famous, right? There's a ton of other companies that do this. And I think it's a really great way, especially if you have a product that people need, right? Like you can't do, like a wine company probably shouldn't do a buy one, give one campaign, right? So I really like this one, especially it's more of like a consumer product focused campaign, right? But, we see it with shoes. We see it with clothes. One of our clients actually has this hideaway jacket, it's called. It's like a windbreaker that you can put like leaves in to like stay warm if it's lost in the woods or something. But if you're homeless or something, it's a good way to use that too, right? So it's they did a buy one, give one campaign, and I really like this one, but it's a tough business decision, right? Because you're basically saying that we're going to give, a free product, right? However many we sell, we have to make double the amount for the cost of it, right? So really interesting one. I think that one takes a little bit more business savvy to get done.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like that one, though. I feel like the goal of that is to really give the customer peace of mind. Like, for example, they make a big purchase and says, okay, I just spent a bunch of money, but at least I've given back. I've given a homeless person shoes, or I've given a person clothes.
Yeah. So another example is Warby Parker, right? They do glasses. You buy a pair of glasses, give one away.
Yep. And
I love that you're talking about that, because it's like for consumers, it's like the lazy way to be awesome at being a consumer, right? So it's like, I'm enjoying these nice shoes, and somebody else is. Yeah. So like, I'm so great. So I really like that, because it kind of plays at the consumer's ego.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also helps you sell your products, right? Mm-hmm. So pretty cool. All right. We got 19 seconds here. Volunteerism, pretty obvious one. Mm-hmm. Have your company volunteer, right? So that's good. The next one is, it's this one. I'm not really sure I understand this completely. It's called digital engagement, where companies create a digital experience to spread awareness for a cause or a nonprofit. It's basically, to me, it's just like advertising. So that's pretty much all the types. If we missed one, let us know in the comments. But this is This Week in Marketing. We'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Securing Our eCity Foundation is a nonprofit organization focused on cybersecurity awareness and education. Formed in 2011, their mission is to enable every San Diegan to live, work, and play safely in the cyber world. For more information, visit securingourecity.org or call 619-630-2444. securingourecity.org, 619-630-2444. securingourecity.org.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McAuliffe brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcAuliffe.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McAuliffe. ChristopherMcAuliffe.com.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Kinja Dixon was crowned the #1 sales executive through hard work, deep thinking, and the revelation of universal talk laws. He now wants to share these lessons with you. Universal talk laws are what you need to know and use in business and at home to have successful and effective conversations. Kinja Dixon shares his wisdom, action plans, and wealth. Each book comes with a chance to win $10,000. Find Universal Talk Laws at KinjaDixon.com.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813. 6813.
Small businesses are the lifeblood of America's economy. Every Thursday, SBA Radio interviews industry professionals and is dedicated to provide small businesses with timely insights and innovations. Visit www.sbaradio.us for details.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to This Week in Marketing, brought to you by the San Diego chapter of the American Marketing Association.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Marketing, and we are talking cause marketing. Okay, we're gearing up for the Cause Conference on October 12th. The Town and Country Event Center here in San Diego. It's really awesome. Tickets are $189. It's a full day event. If you're not a member, it's $299. If you're in the nonprofit space, it's $189. But it's going to be awesome. Great networking opportunity. A lot of really forward-thinking business leaders are going to be there. And it's just going to be an overall great event. And we've got 2 segments left, so hopefully we can get through all of the speakers, but because there's a lot of them. Just overall, it's going to be great. So we highly encourage everybody to sign up, and it's a great way to start your weekend in the middle of October for sure, because it's a Friday, hang out, and help some causes. So the last thing that we talked about was this digital experience cause marketing. And during the break, Kevin and I were talking about different types of these. Basically it's when a company creates like an awareness campaign by leveraging some sort of platform that they're have a wide reach on. So the example that they use most in most of the like articles about this is Coca-Cola and the World Wildlife Fund's Arctic Home, where they basically made like an awareness campaign around the Arctic, what it is, facts around it, and why it's like decreasing, and what's going on, and blah blah blah. So that's kind of like I'm looking at the Coca-Cola company's like Arctic Home page, and I don't see anything like, if you buy a Coke, we're going to donate to the Arctic, or donate to the World Wildlife Fund. So that's interesting because would you still consider that like cause marketing? I mean, I know Coca-Cola donates. They have a huge CSR arm, right? They use a lot of water in the products, so it's like a natural for them to make sure to preserve, right, the earth. But it's just interesting because like, is that cause marketing where you're just like, hey, look at this. This needs help. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd like to go back to the buyer's journey in general. Like, there's a whole part of the buyer's journey that's simply raising awareness, and most of the, like, even in regular marketing campaigns, when you're raising awareness, you're not pushing sales. You're not like throwing numbers out there. You're just simply promoting a certain concept. So yeah, I think I'd say Coca-Cola and the World Wildlife promotion or raising awareness of the Arctic it's definitely cause marketing. It's just at an early part of the buyer's journey. Yeah, that's a really good point. And then another example that you brought up at the break, Kevin, is Stella, the chalice, right, where you buy a chalice and you get 5 years of clean water, or they donate 5 years worth of clean water, something like that. Yeah, I know they used. They've been doing quite a bit of promotion with it. I know they used. I think Matt Damon. Yeah, right? Matt Damon was in the commercials. Let's see here. Let me pull up the. Yeah, I saw. Oh, look, he's right here on the webpage. Specifics on it. So yeah, you buy a chalice, and it helps to provide 5 years of clean water to someone in the developing world. And in the fine print here, it says $3.13 of each chalice helps provide 5 years of clean water to one person in the developing world. Stella will donate $3.13 to water.org for every limited edition Stella Artois chalice sold in the United States throughout the year of 2018. And this goes up to 300,000 chalices. Wow. So 300,000 times $3 is how much the maximum that they donate, right? Right. $3.18, whatever, which is pretty interesting because hopefully we can get into this, but there, I guess it looks like there's one in Mexico also, the Mexico chalice, which is cool. But here's my question. It's $3.18, right? It's cool for growing awareness and stuff, but do you think they should it's like for 5 years of clean water, it costs $3. Right. Like, why? It's not, the onus is not on Stella at all, but why doesn't it just get fixed, right? I mean, yeah, exactly. $3 for 5 years of clean water, that's crazy, I guess I just don't get it. So it's really, I think that this campaign's really interesting because, you're donating to water.org, but the consumer is like, okay, Stella's doing this great thing. But if you don't know what water.org does or how they use their money, then it could maybe not be a great thing, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to segue into. But, I think maybe we got to talk about the CODS conference because we only have a segment and a half left. So we'll get to that at the end. Like, how can the consumer do their research without being an expert in every organization?
Right. Yeah. And just one quick thing before we segue into the conference. I think this also goes back to the certain degrees of cause marketing. Like, to use the Patagonia example again, like what they do, that's part of their brand. Whereas Stella, they're doing this just through 2018 and it provides 5 years. And, people are always going to need water. Like that's a cause that never stops. So I think that goes back to the whole degree of cause marketing.
And the different types too, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Love that. All right, so we are going to talk about the COS conference. We've got a huge lineup of speakers. I'm going to run through the schedule really quickly, and then we're going to talk about the keynote speakers. Friday, October 12th starts 7:30. Registration, breakfast, right? 8:30, we have a call for vision, which is like basically the welcoming announcements. We've got the MCs of that. Which is Eric Kaufman, who's the de facto executive director of the Chamber of Purpose, which is a cause-driven organization that's throwing the conference, in addition to the San Diego AMA. I haven't really worked with Chamber of Purpose. I'm interested to learn more about them for sure. And then also the MC of that is Neville Villamoria, who's the SVP of Membership and SVP Membership and Chief Advocacy Officer of the Mission Federal Credit Union, which I'm guessing is their CSR wing. And I'm interested to hear what Neville has to say because, banks can do a lot. They can fund projects, right? That's in the morning. And then we've got our first keynote, which starts at 8:40 a.m., which is kind of early, but it's going to be really awesome. The speaker is Patrick Combs. And for those of you who don't know, he was actually in one of our first email shout outs about the conference. But he is just a professional speaker, I guess, right? He's been around speaking with millions of people for like 25 years. He's been on HBO. He does comedy. He does motivational talks. He's had like a theater event. And his talk is called Awakened Leadership, Doing Good Business by Doing Good. And I'm pretty excited about that. It's he's going to illuminate the new era in business where bold leaders and leading companies are redefining the rules of business by maximizing their company's benefit to people, the planet, and profits. Basically, be an awesome business, right? And I'm sure he's going to have a ton of examples and very, really good take on that whole thing. So pretty excited about that. What do you think about that, Kevin? What are your thoughts on those that sort of opening keynote?
Yeah. I'm really excited to hear him talk. I think a really interesting thing that he's doing is with the Donovan Correctional Facility. So it's no secret in the United States there's definitely a controversy surrounding the correctional system.
Oh, we could do tons of shows on marketing.
We could
marketing
do a
to prisoners.
Whole show on this topic. But I think just to summarize it, the big controversy or criticism of the American correctional system is that it doesn't so much focus on rehabilitation as it does more punishment, is what a lot of people would say. And everyone knows that the United States has more prisoners per capita than any other country in the world. And so I think this is a great cause because Patrick Combs is all about coaching prisoners and really focusing on rehabilitation. So I think that's a great way to position yourself as promoting a good cause in an area where there's a lot of controversy surrounding it.
Definitely. So we have that keynote talk. Then we have the next talk after that is from Dr. Michael Cunningham, who is the Chancellor and CEO of the National University System, which you're talking about earlier, colleges, cause marketing. Boom. Mm-hmm. That talk is called Challenge, the New World of Cause plus Commerce, right? Which is probably talking about obviously the challenges, right? And I'm really interested to hear what the challenges of the National University System has, which, would be interesting, right? Because there's a ton of ton of stuff going on there that's, it's going to be interesting because I don't really know the challenges, right? I'm not really involved there. And I don't know if you guys are with the companies that you work for, but it's super, super interesting talk. The next one at 10, there's like a break for networking, and there's, I think, food and exhibitors, and that's, for half hour, 45 minutes or so. And then we have a breakout session, right? So this one thing that's really cool about this conference is there's like, it's not just sitting and listening to people talk, right? It's there's a ton of interactive workshops, and there's breakout panels, and there's a ton of these. So we're going to try and get through some of them. One of them is called Strategic Branding, How to Maximize Your Integrated Marketing Budget, right? So basically it's a finance talk, and how to position yourself in the right way that fits best for your company, right? Which we could do a whole show just on, financing marketing, your marketing department, which actually is a pretty good topic. But the moderator there is Peter Jones. He's the Senior Director of Digital Revenue for Tenga. I'm not sure what they do. I'm going to look that up in a second. The panelists are Bobby Buchanan, who is the Creative Director of Buchanan Brand and Design, Carly Smith, who's the Senior Director of Social Media for the Rescue Agency, and Shelly Callahan, who's the Director of Marketing Pharmacy Solutions for Mitchell International. So that's what sounds like a really good talk. I mean, especially for small businesses that are trying to, they've got a limited budget. How can you best use this budget to get yourself into the cause world? Mm-hmm. So pretty cool. Pretty excited about that one. The next panel is called Love at Work, Making Businesses Love Again. There's no description on the website yet, but the panel moderator are Alexis Dixon, and we will get back to this in a second, the last segment. This is This Week in Marketing. Thank you very much.
You take your smartphone almost everywhere you go. Now WSRadio.com can be there too. Search WS Radio in the Play Store for your Android devices or iTunes for Apple, and download the WS Radio application. WSRadio.com, on your phone and in your ear everywhere you go. Download the WS Radio application. Do it now. It's very easy. WSRadio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Nowadays, internet devices are an integral part of your home. Everyone in your family has a smartphone, tablet, or a computer. Life is easier knowing that all your devices are secured and your family can surf the internet carefree. ESET Multi-Device Security Pack does just that. One license for all your devices. With ESET, it's simple to stay protected and save money. Enjoy safer technology with ESET Multi-Device Security Pack at ESET.com. That's ESET.com.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you've helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
Did you know the majority of radio listeners are between the ages of 35 and 54, have a household income of more than $100,000, are classified as executives or professionals, and share the show they listen to? Become part of the Peggy Smedley Show to reach listeners looking for information on connected devices through cost-effective radio commercials or segment sponsorships. Contact us at 630-933-0844 for more information or visit PeggySmedleyShow.com.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to This Week in Marketing, brought to you by the San Diego chapter of the American Marketing Association.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Marketing. We're talking Cause Conference, October 12th, Town and Country Convention Center. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's in 10 days. So this is a special podcast to kind of talk through Cause Marketing and just talk about the show and just kind of chit-chat, I guess. Cool. So we're talking about the breakout sessions. We're going to get through this. We got about 10 minutes. Love at Work, making businesses love again. There's a design studio, Greg Haynes of a design studio, Mosh Engelberg of Research Works, Mariette Formeau of Brilliance Inside. So I think that's more like company values, company culture, how to show that you love your business and you love your consumers and you love the world. So that'll be pretty fun. The next breakout is called Conscious Capitalism Advances the New World of Cause plus Commerce, the 4 tenets. So this is organized by Conscious Capitalism San Diego, right? Which I think is another group very similar to the Chamber of Purpose that focuses their efforts on making sure that capitalism is conscious, which is it's an interesting phrase, right? Because capitalism usually, I don't think they care about being conscious, right? But I guess you can, right? And that's basically the whole purpose of cause marketing is having for-profits, leveraging causes to make an impact, right? So super interesting one. That one, the speaker is Daniel Friedland. He's a MD of Super Smart Health, which is a pretty cool company. The next breakout session is called 8 Steps to Successful Cause Selling, which is pretty cool. It's probably going to lay out. It's organized by the Stanford Institute of Philanthropy at National University. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's by a professor, Katie Adams Farrell. She is at the Stanford Institute of Philanthropy. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that one. That's going to be a great talk to kind of outline how you can get into it, right, for businesses that are looking for it. So that's, there's a ton of sessions here. Like, I wish I could be in every place at once, right? So you're going to have to pick one in this. You have to pick a segment to go to because they're all from 10:30 to 11:30. Next one in this breakout is How Local Businesses Can Solve Big Problems. Love that one. That's organized by the Business for Good San Diego, which I'm guessing is similar to the Conscious Capitalism groups, right? There's a lot of groups out here. I didn't even know about all these until doing research about this. So it's pretty cool. There's like a ton of great ways to get involved. The next breakout is Going from Me to We, Accelerating Impact Through a Mindful Workplace, which is really cool. That's kind of like an HR talk, I think, is, how to ingrain company cultures into your people, make sure they're happy, make sure people talk about the company and, making sure that everybody's kind of happy at work, right? Which is a problem that everybody faces, I think. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Then there's a break and there's lunch. The lunch title is Nourishment and Championing, Lunch Served, which is pretty funny. At 11:50, we've got another speaker, which is I guess it's called Championing Parker Pike Nonprofit Marketing Scholarship Award. Oh, that's at lunch. It's awarding the nonprofits to the winner of that scholarship, which is pretty cool. At 12, we've got another keynote, 4 Generations of Purpose-Driven Leadership, Businesses' Role in Elevating the Community. That is from, it's a panel keynote, which is pretty cool. We've got Willis Tower Watson, Monkier Group, the Ken Blanchard Companies, and Crushman and Wakefield San Diego. So that's going to be a really great talk. The next one, at 1, we have the Chamber of Purpose announcements, which is a kind of just a talk about going into the second half of the day, I believe. There's networking break at 1:15, which will be right after lunch. At 1:45, we have a whole another slew of breakouts again. So the first one's called Ever-Changing Media Landscape, What's New in the World of TV, and How Those Mediums Can Highlight Your Cause. Basically, what can you do on TV and radio, which you could start a podcast if you really want to. The next one is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in Supporting Nonprofits. I love this talk. Hopefully we'll get a couple minutes here to talk about how people can be smart and look at your nonprofit, right, to make sure they're doing good. Another one of the breakouts is Impact Investing in You. The what, the why, and how of cause-driven capital, right? So that's talking about investments, which is interesting because, there's companies out there that do microloans, right, that help. The loans aren't very great, but they help people get money that you can't otherwise, right? So, I'm interested to see that kind of investment talk there. The next breakout is Lessons from the CEO, Finding Alignment with Your Cause as a Corporate Citizen. Really like that one. President of Bragg Inc. and Marsh and McLennan Agency are going to be talking there. Tools for Transforming Your Organization, Conscious Capitalism Activator. That one's pretty fun. Leadership and Planning on Purpose. And then we have a break. 3:15, we've got another set of breakouts, which I don't think we're going to have time to go through all of these, but I will post this schedule in the show notes, so you can kind of see all of them. But there's a ton. Maximizing Exposure is one of them. How corporations and community partners are curing cancer. That's a Padres Pedal, which is one of our keynotes. Her name is Ann Marberger. She's the executive director of Padres Pedal the Cause. Love this group. It's a really, it's a great way for sports teams to get back, which is really fun. Okay, cool. I'm kind of talking a lot here, Kevin. Let's kind of talk into the last thing that we want to talk about. We got 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, how can consumers be smart about the way that they don't, or not just consumers, companies, right? If you're looking to partner with a nonprofit, what do you do, right?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing is you have to find the parallels. Going back to the example of cancer, I don't know if you remember a few years back, KFC had an epic failure when they launched their campaign called Buckets for the Cure. So what does fried chicken have to do with curing breast cancer? I mean, to be honest, eating fatty chicken contributes to obesity, which might even, that's obviously not doing the cure any good. So this was a miserable failure of a campaign just because there's no parallel between fried chicken and curing breast cancer. So I think companies and consumers, they need to be wise about who they support and why they stand for it. Like the KFC example, this was clearly just, capitalizing on Breast Cancer Awareness Month and trying to get some support on that. But really there was just, there's no similarities between the two. So you need to find the congruencies between what your brand does and how it supports a cause.
Definitely. And then, so you have your parallels, right? And then you need to actually do the research to figure out if they're doing well.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, consumers aren't dumb. They'll do their research. They'll figure it out. If you're just trying to support a cause purely for the sake of supporting a cause, most consumers are going to see right through it. So there has to be proven results. You have to, know what you're doing and why it's important.
Definitely don't sugarcoat your don't gloss over your achievements as a company, but don't overstate what you've done. Right. So, the Stella example is good, I think, because it's they're giving all this money to water.org. Mm-hmm. Before you buy a glass, you need to look at water.org to make sure that they're doing good work, right? Mm-hmm. Do they pay it depends. How much of their money actually goes to helping, right? Versus just paying their administrative fees, right? That's a really important thing to look at too. There's actually a ton of really great nonprofit research resources. We're going to put a link to this article in the show notes. But there's the Digital Giving Index, which provides resources for donors and companies, and it has reviews of the companies. And there's the Foundation Center, the Nonprofit Almanac, Nonprofit Finance Fund. There's all these tools that consumers can use to make sure that the companies that they're supporting are doing great stuff, right? And more importantly, Kevin, what you were kind of talking about is just making sure that the company aligns with what you want, right? It's totally cool, I think, for a company to like put on events, right? Even if they don't donate a lot of money to their cause, to raise awareness, right? That's a whole important thing that, is just, it's not all about the dollars, right? I don't know, maybe nonprofit people would disagree with me there, but anyway, the show is going to be great. Looking forward to the Cause Conference, and we'll see you next time on This Week in Marketing.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I think we've got a great segment. We might even have to do a part 2 after the conference.
Securing Our eCity Foundation is a nonprofit organization focused on cybersecurity awareness and education. Formed in 2011, their mission is to enable every San Diegan to live, work, and play safely in the cyber world. For more information, visit securingourecity.org or call 619-630-2444. Securingourecity.org, 619-630-2444. Securingourecity.org.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McAuliffe brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcAuliffe.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McAuliffe. ChristopherMcAuliffe.com.
Looking to be a successful entrepreneur? The virtual assistant industry continues to be a top choice for those looking to start their own business. The problem can be how to become a virtual assistant. Many turn to the Bible of the VA industry, the book Virtual Assistant, the series, and it's the perfect guide for office managers, executive assistants, and other administrative professionals looking to make the transition from employee to successful business owner. Go to vatheseries.com to get your copy today.
Hi, Scale listener. This is David Finkel, co-host with Jeff Hoffman of Scale Your Business. I wanted to let you know that our newest book, Scale, was just released, and to encourage you to get your copy. The book will give you 7 proven principles to grow your business and get your life back. Scale will help you work less by getting your business to produce more. Get your copy online or at your local bookseller. For more information, visit us online at scaleyourbusinesstoolkit.com.